Hello everybody, my name is Brendan, and in this video I'll be going through a level design analysis for the truly timeless Halo 3. We'll be looking at the competitive multiplayer sides of things and hone in on one map named Guardian. Guardian utilizes many important elements of a good competitive FPS level. These elements are structure, flow, and balance. To start, let's get a general idea of the structure of the map. Guardian is not a massively sized map. Because of this, it's best suited for 2 versus 2, 4 versus 4, and similarly sized free-for-all game modes. Guardian is not symmetrical, which means it's not greatly suited for objective-based gameplay. However, because of the asymmetry, death matches work exceptionally well. We'll get more into how the asymmetry is balanced later on. Guardian is split into 2 floors. The top floor consists of more open lines of sight and easy access to any section of the map, while the bottom layer consists of close quarters and opportunities to flank through more one-dimensional pathways. At the center of the map is a wide open circular platform with no cover. This acts as crossroads to the rest of the map. In one direction, we head over to this building that resembles a sniper's nest. The curved platform provides a great line of sight across the majority of the map. Adjacent to that, we step onto this massive felled tree that connects the sniper tower to the middle of the map and provides access to the long corridor that runs under the center of the map. Across from the sniper tower, we enter Guardian's infamous lift room. The lift provides access to the upper floor, and holes in the floor on either side of the lift provide an easy way to access the bottom floor. Finally, in our last remaining cardinal direction, we have these tight corridors with many different pathways which drop down to the lower level and even gravity lifts to the other sections of the map. Guardian is very good at using the premise of focal points to help players distinguish where they are. Focal points are defining features that stick out in each area that we as humans use to reference where we are. For example, take the lift room. The central location and gentle yellow hue provides great contrast from the lush green scenery of Guardian. If you get lost, the yellow light can act as a beacon, reminding you where you are. The only natural piece of terrain that the players interact with is this large fallen tree. It makes itself a focal point by distinguishing itself in this way. Lastly, even in the winding corridors in between the sniper's nest and yellow lift room, the Bungie developers did a great job at using colors to help act as focal points. This spinning orb that emits a blue light casting on the rest of the room, and this green light that flushes out the lower hallway easily helps the player remember where they are. These focal points are pedagogical elements that help new players pick up the layout of the map. Coupled with the smaller size of the map, it's not uncommon for a player to have a fully completed mental model of the map after a single match. Now that we understand the structure, how does this map flow? For starters, when I say flow, I mean how does a player find themselves moving throughout the map? Let's examine a couple of full map layouts. In this first image, we can see a bird's eye view of the map. A very common important theme in competitive FPS levels are the circle and the figure 8. These shapes are used to describe movement patterns used by players that describe healthy gameplay. If a map is too condensed, players may find themselves charging in and dying before having any interaction. On the flip side, if the map is too large and the lines of sight are too long, players may simply take advantage of what cover they can, and the game suddenly becomes about who can camp best. Guardian has a perfect balance of the two. The yellow lift room and adjacent winding corridors provide players close quarters actions, while the wide open center and long sights around the sniper's nest let tactical players choose their moments. Players naturally wrap around the map, bouncing from one focal point to the next, moving from high points of action to lower points of action. If we look at this heat map of Guardian, we can see where this action takes place. If I draw my figure 8 back over the heat map, we can see the player has this rhythmic heartbeat of rising and falling action. It's important to note that this figure 8 doesn't perfectly cover the map. The player still has options on how to move. They can take slightly different pathways to reach the same focal points, which create new and interesting gameplay while still preserving the flow. The verticality in Guardian helps create these winding paths. There are drop-offs and lifts that let you dynamically change your height no matter the circumstance. With the structure and flow down, let's move on to the final section of this analysis, balance. In this video, I'll be defining balance as how items, power-ups, lines of sight, and cover affect the game's flow. Let's start with weapons and power-ups. Like in most FPS games, your weapon determines how you play. Snipers hang back and shotgunners charge forward. In Halo, these powerful weapons are spread throughout the map and act as points of contention. These draw players towards them and generate action simply by existing in the game space. To balance the map, the weapons and power-ups are spread all throughout the map. The shotgun sits nicely in the narrow hallway of the green room, ready for immediate use. The sniper is conveniently located near the sniper's nest, and gives immediate long-range control down the long open pathways in the center of the map. In the bottom center of the map is the infamous gravity hammer. Bring this bad boy to the close quarters lift room for some hilarious and epic beatdowns. In the sniper's building, there is an overshield which provides a large temporary shield. This is perfect for charging down the center of a contested area. However, be careful. Charging down the center without an overshield can be punishing, as players can bait you and with a well-placed grenade, defeat you easily. Near the lift room is an invisibility power-up which can be used to sneak through the center of the map and tactically take down your opposition. These elements create a tug-of-war and imbalance of power. In a sense, these weapons or power-ups act as focal points because their locations are consistent. They generate action and movement just by being present and provide change to the gameplay. Guardian is a spectacle of the map. The atmosphere makes the tone feel silent and peaceful, yet players are constantly in this ebb and flow of action. There's time to appreciate an epic moment that just happened right before a new battle starts. All these design choices made the map feel dynamic and interesting, and it's why I think it's one of the best Halo 3 maps. Well, that's all for this analysis, and thank you so much for watching.